Hello, welcome to Stampin' All Day with Bev. It is Sunday, almost time for my live. It is 2 minutes or 1 minute to 7 now. Tell me when you're here. Welcome, welcome. It has been a quiet weekend. We just hung around the house this weekend, so I hope you had something fun to do. Thank you to those of you who popped in when I went to Rose's house and we stamped together and I answered some of her questions. Wasn't that an amazing stamp room that she has? Oh my goodness. Yes, it was. Hi, Carol. So we're going to start in 1 minute. Rose was nervous because I kind of just sprung it on her. Well, I asked her before I went to her house and she said, yeah, that'll be fine. But she did really good. Hey, Karen. Oh, thank you for sprinkling. Hi, Stephanie. We have a cute little hay Roz. We have a cute little project. So it's 7 o'clock. It's time to get going. So we're going to do just that. Hey, Roseanne, welcome. Welcome, everybody. All right. So let me just turn you down and let's get started. Okay. There we go. Hey, Marie Costa. How you doing? Hi, Louise. All right. Welcome to Stampin' All Day with Bev. Thank you for being here. Let me see if I can get this a little bit smaller. Houston, beautiful weather. Good. Uh-oh. Here we go again. I forget how touchy this is. Hi, Melanie. All right, so I'm going to try I'm just going to leave it alone. All right. Hi, Lena. Welcome back. Welcome to Stampin' All Day with Bev. I am your host, Beverlee Morales, tonight, and I am so glad you're here. September 1 has approached, and well, not approached, it's here. And so I have a new host code for you, and here it is right here. And remember, you can order from the new mini starting the 5th of September. Here's where you can shop with me if you do not already have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Feel free to shop with me at beverleystamps.stampinup.net. Also, you can send people to YouTube. Now, on my computer, I don't know if it's my computer or what's going on, but it's been taking me a few days to get my things to upload onto YouTube, but they are there. And so you can send people to my YouTube channel. It's just my name, Beverlee Morales. I do add Stampin' Up! On the back, but when you put my name in, it pops up. And then email me at mofun44@icloud.com if you have any questions whatsoever, or if you need to send me your address or anything like that. Here is the list of what we've got going for tonight's card. All the items are right there. I'm just going to hold it still for a minute so you can take a snapshot of that in case you want to recreate this card and know any of the items I used, numbers. They're item numbers, okay? So there you go. Hey, Connie, thanks for being here. All right. So we have a winner for the card I made on Wednesday, which was very popular. You guys all liked that a lot. Had quite a few people, a lot of people watching on Wednesday. It made me very happy. So here is the card, and let's see who won this. Barbara Adams. Congratulations, Barbara. I'm always thrilled for whoever wins, but I'm especially thrilled for Barbara because she is a new stamper. She has just been here to open house last month, and she's placed an order, and she's getting her things ready to become a stamper, and I'm really excited for that for her. Okay, I'm going to try to zoom in just a little bit, see if it'll let me. I know, Karen, thanks to you, she's coming around here now. So nice. All right. I am starting with this designer series paper once again. Here's a bunch of little scraps. I'm going to pull them out because I will need them eventually. And it's in the new mini. and it's called Splendid Autumn. And I am going to use the daisies in this, the sunflowers in this. I don't know what they are. Daisies, sunflowers. I think they're sunflowers in this set. I love this piece of the 6x6 Designer Series paper. I'm also going to use a scrap of vanilla and a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 shaved slightly smaller than 5 1/2, shorter piece of basic white, and then Mossy Meadow for my card base. Okay, I'm using a retired circle punch, but it's 1 3/4 round. If you have it, great. If you don't, you could use any size you want, really. And isn't it beautiful, Ross? If you don't have a punch, you can use your circle dies as well. Again, we're using this ribbon. Now, when I was at Rose's, her husband's so sweet, his name's Greg. When I was at Rose's house, he was asking me questions, and I was mentioning to him how I like to use the items that I show you more than once so that you can see the versatility, how many options you have. Hi, Lynn, how they coordinate with other things, and he really liked that idea. He was excited. He asked Rose if he could use her cut and emboss machine, and he couldn't believe what dies do. Rose was totally in love with these leaves here, the woven golden leaves, and I told her, well, watch on Sunday because I'm going to be using those again. Hi, Debbie. So I'm using these. Got a few of these to put back on again, the gold texture adhesive dots. Everything so far is available on the 5th to use. Now, I tied it in with the Cheerful Daisies bundle again because remember the card that I made. Let me show it to you again. I had just used the little leaves off of that daisy die. Well, the rest of the daisies were sitting on my desk, and I didn't want them to go to waste, so I incorporated them into this card as well. So I'm using the daisies that are connected. You'll see when I cut them out to these leaves right here. Autumn Expressions is the bundle I've been working with for a while, and I'm going to use these two little stamps. Thanks, Debbie. I'm glad you like that card. These two little stamps for tonight's card. Okay. Then I'm using Wild Wheat ink. Hi, Annie. To coordinate with that DSP. And then back to, I don't like to leave you hanging by just using one of the dies, but back to the Elegant Border dies. And they are an online exclusive. There is their number. It's on that sheet as well. Now let me open it up. I used this die on Wednesday, and there's this die that goes with it that I'm using tonight. Okay, put that back in my holder there. All right, and then of course your adhesives, your cut and emboss machine, your bone folder, you take your pick tool, that all those basics are needed as well. Okay, so let me start with making my card base. You're going to need your paper trimmer. My scraps over here. Okay, so I'm going to fold this card. It is 4 1/4 by 11, so it is portrait style tonight. And fold that over, push down to get my nice fold there. I'm going to need this again. I'll put it behind me. And then I'm going to get my bone folder and burnish. Hey, Barbara. Thanks for coming back. Let me see if I can get a little bit closer. It either goes, it's so finicky. Come on. Not, I know it's going to work when it feels like it. Oh, well, it's not working right now. Okay, so here's the card base. And then I'm going to show you how, oh, do you want to see the card? I think I should show you the card because then you can see better what I'm doing. Look at this birdhouse card. Is it not the cutest thing? Now I want you to notice all of the detail in this card. Here is that border die. Here is the designer series paper. This side is the front of the designer series paper. The roof line is the opposite side. Oh, I'm so glad. Thank you, guys. Here are the daisies that you already have, but look at this whimsical feathered ribbon. Can you see that? And then the little gems, the circle punch for the little bird, and then of course the gold leaf right here. Just adorable. I absolutely love it. And then look at the inside, the two-tone liner. Isn't that great? And it says, "You've got this, dear friend." So you can stamp whatever you want inside this card, but I just want to show you how to make this. Oh, Annie, I'm so glad. I think it's fun. I think whoever receives it's going to love receiving it, and they might just turn it around like I'm doing to see all the little intricate parts to this card. Okay, set it there. Let me show you how to make it. So we start with the card base, right? So I was telling you that this card is 4 1/4 wide, this way. So what we need to do is we need to have a pencil. It says that in your in the description in the middle with all the things that you need. And you are going to take a ruler and you are going to mark 2 right in the middle, 2 1/8. So right in the middle of the card, you're going to place a little pencil mark. I'm going to make mine kind of big so you can see it. I wouldn't do it that big, but I'm trying to show you guys. See it right there in the middle? And then you're going to do that on the opposite side as well. Love the DSP, the sunflowers, our favorite of mine. Look forward to getting it. Yes, it is stunning, actually stunning. So we're going to mark it again here. And then we're going to go down 1 3/4 inches. So I can do that on my, if I turn it this way, I can do that here on my glass mat. 1 3/4 inches and make a mark. Turn it over and 1 3/4 inches and make a mark with my pencil. And so here is the mark with my pencil. So I'm just going to take my ruler and make a straight line across here and make another mark on the other side. That's how I found it easiest to do. Okay, also what I'm doing is to make sure I'm straight. See the grid lines on my glass mat? I'm making sure my ruler is straight with that line there too. So this is the distance from the fold to here is 1 3/4 inches. Okay. Now back to our trimmer, paper trimmer. I've shown you guys how to do this before. Now make sure you take your cutting blade out of the way, and you're going to put the the 2 1/8 pencil mark. Sorry, I'm going to fold that back up to make it easier. And the 1 3/4 pencil mark on the cutting channel. And you're going to use your scoring blade, the light one, and you're going to score a line. This is giving you your roof line. Okay, you can press kind of hard, and I went back and forth so you can see that score line there. Okay, now you're going to do the opposite side, the opposite way, same thing. Back at the 2 1/8, back at the 1 3/4 into the channel, and you're going to use your score blade. And you're going to go up and back. Hi, Marcia. All right, now I'm going to turn that over, and I can see the score lines. See that? Kind of, you can probably see it on camera a little bit. That's really light, though. But what I'm going to do to make sure that I'm straight is I'm going to just go over the score lines that are showing through already and give it another extra score. Come the opposite direction and give it an extra score. Just so when I want to fold this, it's easier on me. Okay. Hey, Vera, welcome. Okay, so now we're gonna, looks to me, well, we'll see. It looks to me like I went off the pencil line a little bit. So I'm gonna fold these up just to get the creases going, and then I'm gonna fold this in. Hey, Pamela. And then fold that one in. And fold this up again. Okay, and get these in, and there is our little birdhouse. Now you're going to take your bone folder and you're going to burnish those score lines again. Okay. Now for the inside, to make it easy, there's a bunch of different ways you can do this, but I thought this was the easiest. I just set this in there. Now when I cut it down, I said 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 with a little bit taken off both the top, and I didn't cut it down off the side at all, but I'm noticing that it's a little bit smaller, so that's perfect. You can glue this down now if you want to. I usually stamp first, but I'm going to glue this down so I can show you how this works. I'm debating with myself whether I should do that first or not. I didn't when I made the original card. I stamped it first and then glued it down, but we'll see what happens. Okay, so I'm going to put this down right on the inside without doing any scoring to it at all. You could use the same method again, but I thought since I had the score lines in there already, I would just do it this way and use what I have in there. Okay, and then it just fold it up, and then you've got your insides. Okay. All right, so now let's go to the designer series paper. Clean up my mess here. Okay, so I was thinking of a birdhouse that is like painted. You know how you can buy a birdhouse and paint it? I was thinking that that's what my birdhouse was kind of like. I would have never thought about doing the inside like that. Outstanding. Good. I'm glad I could teach you something. All right, so let's get this. And we said that our card was 4 1/4 wide. So let's make our DSP 4 1/4, 4 1/4 wide. Okay, and then I'm going to cut the top off at 3 3/4. Okay, so I have these two pieces, and this is extra. So now this piece just fits right here onto the birdhouse, just like that. So we can put that down. I'm going to get a little clip so it doesn't keep bouncing on me. Okay, and we can put this onto the front of the card. Just using my glue. I didn't really need to go all the way in the middle because I'm going to punch out a hole. So this looks like it's going to be, nope, it's good. It's going to go over a little bit, but it's good. So now I'm going to take my hole punch And I like to just go in until it stops and kind of look to see that it's somewhat even on both sides and punch a hole. Okay. Now we're going to turn this over and we can just glue this on, and then we can cut it off from the back side. So let's glue this on. This time I'm going to put glue on the roof line so I don't get it over the edges of the DSP and have a sticky mess. You with me there? If I would have put DSP glue all over here and then set it down, the overhang would have caused glue in places I didn't want it. So there we go. Then I can turn. So sorry to use the back side of this, but I thought it looked so pretty with the two-tone. And then I'm just going to cut this off. And Beverly forgot to do something. I'm like, why do I have extra? Oh my goodness, my mind sometimes. Okay, I'm going to show you on this. What I did on this one, which I just made a mistake on right now, is I used the die to cut this out prior to putting it on the house. But on this one, I'm going to have to cut out this extra piece. So I guess there's two ways you can do it. Oh goodness. Okay, let me get my die. And I'm going to look here and see which way I want it. Let's see. I want, see how these are wider or longer scallops, and these are shorter little scallops. I'm going to have the shorter little scallops facing the edge of the paper. So we'll see which one we like better. I have a feeling I'm going to like the original design better. Hi, Denise. So I will send that one to whoever wins it. Okay, let's move that out of the way and get my cut and box machine. Okay, let's cut this out. And then I'm going to cut out the daisies too while I've got my machine up here. Hey, Rosemary. Clean this off. Grab my daisies. And I want to show you a little trick. So this is a manila envelope. Hey, Olive, that I just have. And I'm going to cut a piece off. My friend Reiko, actually she's my friend and my downline, Reiko. She has shown us this at open house before. And there are certain dies where this really, really helps. So on this daisy die, sometimes when you cut your paper and you go to pull the die off the paper, away from the paper, right here where the stem hits the daisy, it can rip off because it's such a thin little stem there. Okay, so what Rosemary taught, I just saw Rosemary's name. What Reiko taught me was to place everything on top of that bubble wrap and then run it through. Hey, Deborah French. Because bubble wrap is thin, you know, all the bubbles just pop. It doesn't make it too thick to go through your machine at all. And when you have an ornate die, you can use the bubble wrap to cut out your item and you will not have any problem whatsoever getting your die, your paper out of your die. Okay, so here we go. So there we go, look at that. And then this just happens to be yellow, and you can pop all of these out, but for now, because it's gonna take a minute, I'm just gonna leave them in because it coordinates. But look how easy that just fell out. Where before, I would have to be very careful not to pull this and rip that tiny little stem right there away from the daisies. Okay, let me get this one out because these should be green, so I don't want them to yellow there. And usually the bubble wrap does not stay in the die, but it did this time. Okay, I cut out the, I know, that trick is so cool. So when you get bubble wrap in the mail, keep it. And just put it in your stash because it really makes life easy. All right, so let's take this off as well. Take this die off the paper. Okay, and now I'm going to cut it because I'm having to do this differently because I forgot to put it on the paper before I made the roof line. All right, so here we go. Look how pretty all of that is. Now these daisies, they have other dies. They are the dies that add dimension to the daisies. So I did that in advance just because I didn't want to overwhelm you with so much information. There was a lot to learn. There's still more today. And the other thing about these daisy dies is you can get frustrated on how to lay them onto, how to lay the embellishment part of the dies onto the base of the die. What I do is I look for the three little petals that stick out. They stick out to me, three little petals, and that's where I'm going to place my embellishment. Then the same thing here. Let me see, are those the three there? No, let's see. Just going to look to line these up. That, and then this one is simple. It just goes on like that. Let me glue them down and then I'll let me see if it'll let me go closer now again. You booger. Okay, so a little bit of glue. Did I just say that? I did. Sorry. Frustrating. Okay, little bit of glue, little. Set that down. Then this one. And set that down. And then this one. Let's see. This one I can't. There we go. And set, see, there's those three and those three there. Okay, now did you notice that I only put glue towards the center of the embellishment dies, what I'm calling embellishment dies, because I like them to stick there and then be able to grab my take your pick tool and pull up the daisies like this. I don't want to glue them flat, so they have some dimension. And I can pull them up and just really make them look fabulous. I know when it goes in the envelope, it's gonna get flattened, but if you send it to a stamper, that's what we always say, right? If you send it to a stamper, you know she's going to do this before she puts it up on her mantle or her hutch or wherever she displays your beautiful cards that you send her. All right, and then this one last one here, like that. Okay, so let's go back to our card, and here we go. Oh, that looks just dandy. So what's the difference? See, because I put the die on the roofline piece and then cut it out before I put it on the card, so you have these extra little pieces cut out here. But this is cute too. So let me get glue on here, and you see that it's longer than it needs to be, so I'm not going to go glue all the way to the end. Again, avoiding a sticky mess. And then I will just match it up right like that, and we will cut it off. When I cut things off, I like to go from the back. And I like to lean up against the card with my scissors. Helps me stay straighter. Okay, so there we go. Now, I am going to stamp next, because when I get these daisies on, they might get in the way a little bit. But look, 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 look. Oh my gosh, I just love it. And I want to get this leaf on too. All right, so I'm going to use my clips again, just to keep the card still. So when I stamp, it doesn't bounce at me, because I want to try my best to get my little words inside the hole. On my original one, my aim was not so good. So I want to do better on this one. Okay, tap, tap, tap. Make sure it's good on my scrap paper, and then I'm going to stamp. You've got this. Dear friend. Test it out on my scrap. Yep, good. Dear friend. Okay. And this was the wild wheat color. All right, let's get our daisies. And you're going to, I'm going to leave this leaf on this one. I remember I told you, hi Linda, at the beginning, that I was using this die again because I had it left over from my card on Wednesday. Well, I had just used this on my card on Wednesday, but since I showed you how to keep that on, look what happens when you put it right here on this card. Now this card is 4 1/4, so you need to make sure you're staying on the card, otherwise it's not going to fit in the envelope, okay? But I also want to add one of these gold little leaves in here as well. It just makes a difference. I am going to put that on with a mini glue dot. So press down onto my mini glue dots. Oh, I'm so glad, Debbie. And let's set this here. And then I'm going to take a little bit of glue just behind here, the big daisy and the little daisy. Let's see if that's enough. You know how I like my flowers to stay a little loose. I don't want them flat, glued down hard to the card. So we can see that we've got a message under there, but when you open it up, then you really see it, okay? All right, now one more thing. This little guy here, I thought needed a little embellishing. So I'm going to get my little gold dots. And last time I said there's 2 sizes. Well, there's 3, small, medium, and large. I got that wrong the first time. So I'll use a small. Then I'll use a medium. Oh, I'm so glad, Vera. And then I'll use a large, right like that. Bring them up so you can see them right here, and right there. Okay, and then get ready for this. You're going to take about 4 inches, a little bit longer if you want to, but I'm going to do 4 inches of ribbon. Cut it off again, okay? Remember how I showed you what to do with that last week, pulling and gathering? All right, well this time we're going to do the same thing, and I'm going to get up close so you can see. We're not going to gather this time though. We're going to pull, and it's going to gather. We're going to pull the string and we're going to pull the ribbon away from each other. And we have this thin, oh, for lack of a better word, again, I'll use baker's twine. But it's not baker's twine at all. It's much thinner. And then look at the gold strands that come out. So I am taking this ribbon apart just by pulling it away from each other. And the loose weave allows you to do it pretty easily. Now that's a little bit of gold that you're not probably going to be able to see on camera. So here's another white and a gold at the same time. 2 of them came out at once. And now we just have this loose weave left, which I haven't thought of anything to do with that. But you know how birds gather different things to make their nest? That's what was in my head. I just put these together like this. And when you get them together, they're substantial. When they're all apart, they're these little tiny things that you really can't see. Wow, there is a lot of detail on this card. What a work of art. Oh, thanks. Okay, so now I'm taking all these strands, and I'm just going to make a knot in the middle. It's probably the hardest part, is holding on to all 4 strands. I know what you're thinking, Linda. I can't do that with my nails. Well, guess what? You don't have to. Bev can do it for you. And then you have all this little strands hanging loose, right? So we're going to take another mini glue dot. Thanks, Lynn. And we're going to place the knot of these threads onto the mini glue dot, and we're just going to place it in the middle of the smallest daisy, and we have all of this fine threading just waterfalling from the daisies. Look at that. So this one's a little bit longer, so maybe 4.5. See how it's coming off, and you can do it to 2 pieces. You can cut 2 pieces or a longer piece and fold it in half if you want this, if you want more of this. It just depends what you want to do with it. Thank you, guys. Yes, that DSP is amazing, amazing. Now here's the difference. If you want to get your roof line to look like this, you put your die onto the paper prior to putting it in, run it through the machine prior to putting it on your card. And if you want it to look like this, you can just cut it out and put it on the card by itself, just as a single piece. So that's the difference. But look at this gold leaf, just adding so much to this card. I hope you guys like it. It stands up like that. So it has a cute little side there. And I just think it's delightful. Are there any questions? Oh, I'm glad you love it, Bev. I hope I didn't miss anybody's comments. Thinking of you would be great in there. Yes, it sure would. Yep. All right. We'll see you tomorrow, those that are coming to class. All right. Bye-bye. I don't see not one question, so I'm going to go. Bye-bye.